I just will start. Oh, thank you. Thank you, little fairies in the background recording for me. I am first of all going to share my screen so that I can share the announcements, and then we'll dive in. All right, let me just see if I can go into present mode. Present, never know how to do this. Oh, okay. Are you still seeing me, or are we just seeing the presentation?
Just the presentation. I can see you in the Zoom, with all of us there.
Okay, but not on the
Not on the
screen.
screen. Yeah.
Okay, doesn't really matter anyway. All right, so
I can see you on the screen down in the bottom corner.
okay,
Backdrop to all the cranial nerve stuff.
okay, sweet.
Yes, I can see you there.
Oh yeah, I don't know how it's going to record, but we'll see how we go. All right, so we've got our cranial nerve presentation today, but let's start with the updates and reminders. So, live day of discovery in Utah. I'm very jealous because I don't think I'm going this year, but we do have a team going over. I'm pretty sure they've sorted out accommodation over there. So there's a Airbnb, I think. So if you are intrigued, I loved it last year. I'm just budgeting this year. And I'm also heading to New Zealand soon. So I'm just like, anyway. But July incentive as well is your free QLA membership. Now, I was speaking to Angela on the weekend, and if you are a PC and not a QLA, and you're thinking about buying the mat, then that's a perfect order. But even your normal subscription gives you that qualifying order to upgrade. So you're crazy if you're a PC and you don't upgrade to a QLA this month because it's free. So you just need a qualifying order, but if you've got your scanner order, then that qualifies you, okay? So please do that. It's much better to be a QLA. You will get it. The renewal will come through in a year's time, but you can decide at that time. If you haven't sold anything or referred anyone or anything, then you can quit it at that time, and you'll get a reminder that it's coming, or put a reminder in your phone. And at that stage, you'll have to pay the $49 US, but you've got a whole year to make some sales. And you can see how all the people are jumping on the mat with that 30% off, and so there's a lot of opportunity there. So just please upgrade. That will be finishing at the end of July, so do it before the 31st of July. Leadership development training, Thursday the 24th of July. This is at 9 a.m. Beck puts amazing trainings together for us, gets some really quality leaders on these trainings, so very worthwhile tuning in. So the next one's Thursday the 24th. Is that this week? Yes, Thursday. So Thursday morning, 9 a.m. So see if you can jump on that. That would be great. I know that I've really enjoyed them and gotten a lot out of them. Very motivational. Just a nice little kick up the bum usually, actually, these little meetings, which is what we all need sometimes, right? So super conscious training as well. And we have that one. I've just got to see Saturday the 26th of July. That will be at 8 a.m., which is great, nice and early, so you can still get kids off to the sports. And then we're also having a testimonial call next Monday night. So that is the power of the AO scan. So you can invite people along to that so they can learn more about the AO scans. So we haven't done one of those in a while, so that'll be amazing. If you have any testimonials, please reach out to Beck, I would imagine. So that, because it's always great to share amazing testimonials as well. So I'm sure she's probably looking for some people to share on that. We have the beautiful Bali retreat, also not going to that one this year, sadly. I don't think there's many spots left. I think last I heard there's 2 spots left. So jump in on that. You'll be staying in Ubud. It's I've stayed at the place that you guys are going to be staying, and it is amazing. And you'll be doing all the amazing things because Beck is a master at sussing out all of the beautiful places to eat and all of the beautiful places to go. So you'll be well looked after. It'll be amazing. And now we can jump into the cranial nerves with Miss Crystal. But Crystal actually has her own presentation. So I'm going to stop share and I'm going to let her share. And I'd love you just to share a little bit about yourself too, Crystal, before we jump in, because it's a great.
Thank you, Paige.
You're welcome.
Known Paige a long time now. It's beautiful.
Yes, like probably 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Playgroup.
met when the kids were tiny. Yeah. So yeah, just
Yeah.
in playgroup.
Yeah. New to the town.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I've met some of
uh,
my best healing friends in that. Dawn was the same. Just at the so we have a friend who's a Bowen therapist, and we were literally just at the park, and she's my therapist now. Crystal's my craniosacral. So Dawn for yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and that's just in our local area. We've got a powerhouse of local area here. Anyway, go ahead.
so good. So I've done remedial massage for be over 12 years now actually. Started the little shop in Jimboomba in the Colonial Village. It was called Jimboomba Massage and Wellness then. And then yeah, we got bigger, got lots more therapists, and so we moved downstairs and then took on a business partner, and that became Jimboomba Wellness Centre. And then I started studying craniosacral therapy when I was getting nerve spasms in my back, and nothing was fixing it. So I was going to yoga with Lisa, and that was fantastic. It was helping it stay, better, but they just come on at any time. And then so I just got to the point, and I was like, universe, send me to the one person that can help me. And I ended up in Ken Gordon's office. And Ken's such a character, but he's super intuitive and a brilliant practitioner. So, and yeah, it was stored trauma from my second daughter's birth. So he basically gave me a kick up the ass for I was what did he say? It was an induced birth, and what I was doing with my life was I was inducing it. So I was forcing it to run on my time frame, not universal timing. And every time I do that, it triggers that stored trauma there. So it was almost like going through another birth again, but there's no baby to come out. So anyway, and once so he, yeah, told me to slow down, and then did this hold on me, and my whole body went into the shaking. It was the weirdest experience. And I literally felt it leave my body, and I've never had it.
Whoops, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, never had it back. So after I experienced that, I went, okay, I'm learning about what this is. And now I do craniosacral all the time. So
that's amazing. The funny story with that was we nearly studied at the same time. Hey, because I was looking at it completely independently. We came across Ken together, and he was just about to start his courses. And I was looking at it because all I did through my whole pregnancy was craniosacral. That's the only care I had. I didn't go to a doctor's or anything. So all 3 pregnancies I saw Claire Brassard, and I know probably some of you on the phone would have known Claire Brassard, and she was my care. And so there was part of me that was like, wow, because she passed away sadly, and there was a big hole left in the whole craniosacral, and I didn't have anyone I could refer to. And so I was like, oh, but then I was like, come on, Paige, you've got enough going on. You don't need to be that person. And then you did it, and I was like, great, Crystal's now my person. So, although I wasn't very happy with you doing it because I didn't want you to switch from massage because I love your massages. But anyway.
Yeah, I got a few people in town like that.
Yeah. It took me a long time to come for Cranio because I was like, damn it, I just want to come for a massage, please. Anyway, yes. So, yeah, great. That's awesome. So people can find you in Cedar Vale?
Yeah. So I'm just working
just
from
outside
my
of Jimboomba.
Yeah. Just working from my home clinic now. Yeah, because as you start the journey with craniosacral work, it really changes your life. So it's not just doing body work. It actually gets you looking at how we're operating, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and all the imprints. So it basically clears the imprints that get stored in our body from our birth or what our mother was going through when she was carrying. And then, parents put our belief systems on us because that was passed down from their parents. And so it pulls you more and more away from who we truly are. So Cranio is a beautiful bridge because it's an osteopathy branch. So it's got that anatomical science. Yeah. And then you're working with the field, like there's an element of weirdness to it. So that's Absolutely. My favorite.
That's the woo-woo. Yeah, you got to have the woo-woo.
Love the woo-woo. Yeah. So, but you're actually just physically clearing the body. And so, yeah, town's too noisy. So that's why I ended up selling and working from home now.
Cool. That's awesome. And you're going to share your screen. Hey, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, I will. Do you know anyone in Noosa? Bryony's just asked if you know anyone in Noosa. I do know someone close to Noosa, Bryony, through somebody else. But if you have any recommendations, Crystal, let me know. But I'll send that through to you, Bryony.
Yeah, my friend just moved from Noosa to the city.
Ah,
So
yeah, no,
yeah.
I do have a guy who actually teaches up there too, I think. His name's Adam, someone, I think. So anyway, I'll dig up that contact for you, Bryony, and send it through to you because yeah, he's quite good apparently. Quite hard to get into, but quite good from what I hear. Mm.
It's a good sign.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Sorry,
Awesome.
can you see that?
Nope.
Ah, bugger.
Best laid plans. It
I
came up
gave it a run
before.
through before and it
You're still co-host? I'll just make sure that you are. Yeah, you're still co-host. Maybe I'll make you host and see if that changes anything.
uh,
This always happens, doesn't it?
we even gave it a test run.
We did. It's not coming up.
Okay,
Okay.
let me
Otherwise, I do have your PDF,
oh,
or you could send through it to me if you wanted. Oh,
oh
no,
okay.
it's coming. It's coming.
Coming? Okay. All
Yay! That's
right.
it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Everyone can see that? Thumbs up. Perfect.
Good.
Amazing.
Great.
Cool.
So I've really tried to keep it simple because the 12 cranial nerves, they're pairs, and it's just more about knowing what they actually innervate and why would they be coming up in the scan. So uh, it was great the other day, Paige and I run some scans, and it's so spot on. Like I really enjoyed it. And so just to help you understand why certain things, like why would that cranial nerve be coming up? And yeah, because they're all big long names and they're hard to pronounce, but it's just saying, oh, they innervate the tongue. So, or that's the eyes. Yeah, and so all the cranial nerves actually come off this brain stem here in the middle. So we don't need to go into the parts, but just understanding that they all come off here. And it's really important. And if we have pressure or anything in the skull, even if we've, come off horses or even our birth or forceps at birth or vacuum, the suction, uh, the smallest things can really put pressure back into the brainstem here. And the bones need to move freely. So the cranial nerves can operate as they need to, because if they don't, we can have some pretty serious health implications. So, yeah, so this is just what they look like inside the skull. Again, this is the brain stem here. So, and then these are all the different nerves coming off and going into the eyes, the teeth, but we'll go into a little bit more depth as we
So go
go
through.
through just to understand who's doing what. So,
I did a
yeah.
training in this quite a while ago. I was doing a health coaching certification and I just loved the information. And I was like, wow, this was so cool. So, yeah, that's why I really wanted to bring it to the collective and to have you do this, because it's amazing when you start to go into it. And we've got a handout for everyone as well, which is basically this presentation, which is fabulous because you'll have that to look at and refer back to as well. So, yeah, and I've also done a Cephi list and some mind syncs as well for you. So you'll receive all of those as well from tonight. So thank you, Crystal, for that.
You're very welcome. Yeah, it'd be great if they taught this at school so we could all understand our health a bit better.
I know, right? Oh, gosh.
So here we are. So there's 12 paired cranial nerves. There's only one that they maybe argue isn't a cranial nerve because it comes off the vagus nerve, but it's still at this time in science classed as a cranial nerve.
Mm-hmm.
So they have their numbers 1 to 12. They're written in Roman numerals. So they have sensory functions. So they take information from the periphery back to the brain. So certain nerves have certain roles. So they have sensory functions. So when we're sensing and picking things up, and they're actually taking that information back to the brain, and then the body can process what's going on. So then they have, there's motor control. So as we go through each of the nerves, I've got next to them S for sensory, M for motor, and B for both, because there's some that do both. So they actually control the muscle movements. So if anyone goes through a stroke, or you're having like a TMJ issues and things like that, all this tension all through here, then rather than beating the muscles to a pulp, which I've done for so long and loved it and had
And you
great
do
results,
well with that.
yeah, people love it. No
Yeah.
pain, no gain is such an old mentality that's changing. So especially even with the scan, you can clear so much without having to go through immense pain. So so, and in that you can go and you can have all, especially TMJ, it's really painful for the jaw to be released with all the muscles. And quite often it's actually impinged nerves and plus the emotional components that go with it. But when you free up the nerve, it'll actually just release. So all these motor control here with all nerves and muscles, but it's the nerve that's keeping the muscle switched on. So unless we control the nerve, release the nerve, then it'll just stay on all the time. So if you have areas that the scans keep bringing up with the names of these cranial nerves, then you'll be able to go through and see exactly what they innervate and what they're picking up for you. So with the autonomic regulation, yeah, some cranial nerves regulate autonomic functions such as saliva, tear production, and heart rate. And then we also go into the vagus nerve and more down into the body with that also. So it helps with the breathing and, the vagus nerve is pretty famous now, but.
That's what I was about to say. Everyone knows the vagus nerve, but all of these other ones, are, very important as well. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so important. So, yeah, sensory functions, they enable sensory perception, including smell, vision, hearing, balance, and facial sensations. So if anyone gets any facial pain, and even in the teeth. So I've just had a friend recently, she went all the way to a specialist and the dental specialist said, no, you've actually got trigeminal neuralgia. Yeah, you need to go and get your nerves sorted, which is great, rather than costing thousands on getting her teeth done. So, yeah.
The other thing that, just for everyone to note as well, that you can use the wand on the nerves as well. I've seen some really good testimonials on that as well. So the terahertz frequency wand as well, and that works very well apparently for the nerves, the facial nerves and things as well. So
Great. Yeah, it does actually. We lent that off you, Scott and I.
Yes.
And we worked on each other and it did free up the muscles that the nerves were holding on to for dear life.
Yeah, because I went searching. I had a friend who came to me with someone had contacted him, and it was specifically that's what triggered my memory for it. Was the trigeminal, and it was trigeminal neuralgia. And so I went looking, and I actually found testimonials, and I said, "All right, well, apparently this works for it." And
Right. Maybe I'll have to get her onto that. She's in Townsville, and I can't work with her.
Yeah, well, I can, I'll dig up the info and send it through to you.
She'd love that.
Yeah.
Great. So they also control eye movement, facial expressions, muscles of mastication, which is eating, and other motor activities vital for daily functions. And the parasympathetic control is the rest and digest, so the restore, and it's so important to have that, otherwise the nervous system just gets burnt out and it can't maintain it for very long. So I think times are changing, and the nervous system's just speaking a lot louder these days. It won't let us get away with the behavior that we've done for the last 40 years, 50 years. So
that's right.
So it's really important, the parasympathetic control. So some cranial nerves regulate parasympathetic activities affecting organ functions and maintaining homeostasis. So
that could also be, like your hormones and all of those sorts of things as well, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So right up in here, you can see on this eye socket here, the sphenoid bone sits here, and right in there's the pituitary. Yeah. So, and the pituitary works with hormones. So governs hormones and behavior. So if you do have that sort of stuff coming up on the scan as well, then yeah, definitely look. You'll be able to see now and understand what's actually impacting, and is there pressure on there? Is there an imbalance with the nerves? Is it all? It's all working together. Guarantee that. Yeah, but it's so complex in here. There's not much space in our skulls. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So here we've just listed the names of the cranial nerves and the order that they go in. So this one down here, 0, we're just going to throw that one in the end. So it's pretty important, although they don't technically class it as a cranial nerve. So
Haven't heard of that one actually, so that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually really important. So we'll get to that one at the end. But yeah, so
It'll be interesting to see if it shows up in the scans actually, because it might. Because remember how all of those, when I went into comprehensive, I think it was, wasn't it? There was a lot in there. So anyway, we'll have a quick look at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. It's how we actually find our mate. It determines how we pick up our mates. Yeah, so I'm like, that's a pretty important. It should be classed as cranial nerve.
How we pick up our what?
Our mates, how we find partners.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So
okay. Definitely want to hear about that then.
Oh yeah, it's so interesting. So so we've got the olfactory. So S, M, and B means sensory, motor, and both sensory and motor. So olfactory, cranial nerve 2 is optic, 3 ocular motor, 4 is trochlear, trigeminal, abducens, facial, vestibulocochlear, I always say that one, glossopharyngeal, the vagus, accessory, hypoglossal, and we're going to say terminal. So that's the list of the nerves. They never change order. That's how they'll roll. But we have little things how to remember them if you do want to go a bit deeper with understanding what they are.
Yeah. Awesome.
So yeah. So now
and is it specifically the head nerve too, that terminal one? Yeah, it is.
It is. Yeah. So it actually comes in beside the olfactory. But the only issue they have is because which is the eyes, comes into the eyes. Because it's such a fine nerve, it actually gets cut in most dissections when they do their cadavers and cut the bodies up. So it's such a fine nerve that it just gets damaged, and they're really unable to show it a lot. So yeah, but they say that it's all in all vertebrates, so humans, animals. Yeah. So these are the cranial nerves for the sensory functions. So we have the olfactory nerve, which is how we smell. It's how we the brain can determine what smells good, what smells not so good. Because when these, if we're smelling gas or something like that, the body then knows to get out of there. If we're smelling something good, then and things like essential oils and things like that, the olfactory nerves really determining what's safe, what's not safe. Yeah, and our smell.
And do you think with all those people losing their smell with, whether it's COVID or whatever it is, the nasty bugs that are around, is it nerve damage?
Oh, I definitely say quite possibly, because they're only small and they all come from the brainstem.
Yeah.
And the parts of the brainstem where they come from are being affected. Yeah. But you can, I always believe that the body can repair itself. That's just my belief. Obviously, there's times where it can't, but it's such an amazing piece of equipment that we really just take for granted. Absolutely. So, and I've seen stuff just shift instantly, as long as we listen to what it's telling us. Yeah. So if we don't listen to what it's telling us, it's just going to get louder. So but I do believe that if we repair, you do this sort of work, and working with the scanner, I'd love to see that. Like if you could, work with it and see an improvement and this is where it'll help, because you'll understand which nerve, working with
target. And also, so just for everyone watching, comprehensive has the nerves that you can go in, and we found out, we tried to press brain nerves the other day, Crystal, didn't we? And it's actually head nerves that you'll find your cranial nerves in, but you'll also find them in vitals, and you'll also find them in Was it? Oh, it was in the nervous system, wasn't both sensory and just the normal nervous system in body systems. And like I say, I have also done Upper Cephi playlist, which would be supportive of those as well. So yeah, there's a number of different ways you can support it. And as you know, we can also go into comprehensive and just keep running. So if you know that there's specific cranial nerves off, you can't select individual cranial nerves in comprehensive, but you can select the head nerves, and you can literally just keep optimizing that, right? So if you know if you've got an issue, then you can just keep coming back to that as well.
Yeah, that's great.
Ryan is just asking if the optic nerve can repair over time.
So the optic nerve with the vision,
Mhm.
look, I definitely believe so. There's many factors to the optic nerve. You know, they say the eyes are the younger sibling of the liver. So if we're also looking at that as well and repairing our liver, and the liver does an amazing job for the body. It literally sacrifices itself so that heavy metals, toxins, you know, foreign parts of the that are brought into the body don't go back to the blood and the brain. So it actually absorbs it. If we think of a lifetime, even if we're healthy, you know, there's still rubbish in the air. I mean, most of us now probably drink pretty good water, but the livers also holds a lot of emotions. Whether we externalize anger or internalize it, it doesn't matter. It's still, so unless we bring in practices and ways to clear that, yeah, so, and that, then that's Chinese medicine, you know, so working with that, or homeopathy and different things. And then the optic nerve actually sits back here in the skull. So if anyone's had any hits to the back of the head, it's going to actually affect your vision as well. So, and you free those things up, and yeah, I really do believe that it can, you know. I think what's her name, Barbara Ann Brennan, she wrote books back in 90s or late 80s, the Healing Hands of Light. A lot of Reiki practitioners use them, energy workers, and yeah, she says that nobody should have to wear glasses. You know, she has all these exercises that she does, and those books were written back years ago. They're quite
We do a
popular.
protocol within the kinesiology that I was teaching, specifically for eyes. And yeah, I know of several people who've stopped wearing glasses using, you know, just those eye exercises. They're amazing if you're consistent.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. People aren't consistent
Yeah.
with those things, including myself.
Me included.
Yeah. But they're brilliant. Like I literally watched a girl who had like Coke bottle glasses, and she was homeschooled and she was very determined, and she doesn't wear glasses anymore. And I watched her when she was about 12. I think she decided, and I don't know what book she had, but yeah, she applied herself. I sent her all my info as well because I saw her doing it, and I'm like, do this, you know, try this out too. And yeah, she doesn't wear glasses to this day. So
Yeah, great. Yeah, the body is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, my rule with the body is never say never.
yeah,
You know?
100%.
Yeah. And that's like, yeah, the same with kinesiology. You know, I love it when people go, nothing's clearing. I'm like,
Yes.
great.
Yeah, it's like challenge accepted.
Absolutely.
That's my specialty. Yeah, 100%.
So good. So good. So yeah, we've got cranial nerve. Oh, that should not have a V there. Sorry, it's cranial nerve 3. Okay, vestibulocochlear is the one so that is right in the ear. So this here, this gray picture here, this is actually tiny, and it sits in the bone inside our ear here in the temporal bone. So, and it actually looks identical to a, you know, the seashells that have the Fibonacci spiral.
Yeah.
I have one in my room. Anyway, so the body actually replicates nature in so many ways. In the midbrain, there's these parts that looks like a little seahorse. This bone here, it's called the wasp bone, the sphenoid, but also the eagle because it's the same shape. So we actually have all these imprints of nature within us. It's so
Cerebellum
cool.
as well, it's like a butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So cool. So
Mm.
yeah, and you can kind of see it just here, this spiral. But And these bones here, where there's also the trigeminal nerve that's affected big time. So inside the temporal bones sits the part of the brain that governs how we deal with emotions. There's a lot more to it, but we'll just keep it simple. So right in here. And, you know, we go through a lot of emotions in our life. And these two bones, called the temporal bones, they actually temper the whole body. And they're connected to the hips as well. So whatever we got going on up in here, we can nearly guarantee we'll have it going on in our hips as well. So, and when they lock down and don't get moving, these nerves will really be affected. You know, so when people have vertigo, you know, they say there's many different lack of salt and crystals in the ears. And but when we're working with hearing and balance, here we work with these bones to really clear the cranial nerves here and the trigeminal nerve as well, because of the pathways that it travels. So yeah, it's one of the most abused bones in the body, the temporal bone. So, and they're supposed to both open this way, like the gills of a fish. But yeah, quite often one will be doing that, and then they'll be sitting different angles, and so that actually goes then on all down through the body as well.
It's quite fascinating how the cranial bones move, right? And a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I find that fascinating, and that, you know, well, and a lot of people, they don't move
Yeah.
because they're stuck. But yeah, the fact that they are meant to respirate, like every time you breathe in, they're meant to kind of open up and then come back in, like as you breathe out. And yeah, which of course then all affects the nerves if they're not moving properly, right? Which is the job that you do.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. That's how they actually discovered.
Do you think this nerve plays a part in tinnitus?
Yes. So yes, definitely the vestibular. And tinnitus, because the muscles in the ears are so small. So it's when we're it's a sign that we're going through like loss of hearing as well. But because there's so many muscles, and I said this is a highly emotional area, when it gets locked down, all these little muscles need to move to have that health in the body. So tinnitus is the start of it, and it just doesn't, you know, I've got lots of clients we work with that, so it just doesn't go away. They sleep, it's ringing, it's gets louder at certain times. So when we release these temporal bones here and the neck, certain parts of the neck and back of the skull here where it all attaches, then sometimes it doesn't go away completely. It's like a laid experience, but they definitely notice a significant difference in that, and that's bringing that balance back to that nerve.
Absolutely.
Giving it the space to do what it does. So, because yeah, once you help the body correct itself, you just get out of the road then. It'll go through and bring itself back into balance. It doesn't need us to, unless we keep going and creating the same stuff, you know, we usually don't have to, which we do, have to keep working on the same areas. Yeah, but it's usually tinnitus. There's a lot of tension throughout the neck, back of the skull, and possibly even into the jaw. But yeah, you definitely want to, if you can, you know, keep working with the cranial nerves in the program that you have. That was fantastic. I was really amazed by that. So
what's your thoughts on, because I know tinnitus is coming up a lot at the moment with in the conversation around menopause. So do you think that menopause is just changing that potentially in there? I mean, I know I've heard it's about the estrogen receptors and that it can have an impact on all of the things, and that's why tinnitus kind of happens. But I wonder if it's that restriction that's happening that, you know, and then the hormones are reacting to that, and then, you know, like, is that all connected too, in your opinion?
Well, I definitely say there's a part there, you know, big time, because we've seen in that diagram before. So this sphenoid bone that sits here attaches directly to this temporal bone, like directly. And this sphenoid bone, it's so gentle and fragile. And in behind here is where that pituitary sits, you know. So so just in my line of work, like how I can answer that. And there's so much tension. And then these also connect down into the thyroid, you know, is down in here as well, and another big player in the gland. So yeah, I definitely say there's, you know, highly possibilities there of the connection because of the tension that we get, even in the human garage work. Gary's always talking about, they do the jaw release and things like that, because they said as we get older, well, naturally our jaw will sit more to the right.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that when I do those, you can do the human garage stress unwind things for free on their website. It
I've never
does.
heard of them.
Oh, haven't you?
No.
Oh, you're gonna love
Okay.
it.
I'll put
Think
this
it's
in
called
put that in the chat for everyone. So just human garage, just Google that.
Human Garage. Yeah. So
Okay,
their story is they do a lot of fascial movement releasing. When COVID hit, they all worked in clinics. So they realized they needed to change what they were doing. So they pulled all their money together and lived off no food and brought it out to the world.
Wow,
And they
cool.
do some amazing, so they teach you for free. It's set up so you can, if you want to donate $15 a month or whatever you can afford. Otherwise, you do it for free. And they genuinely care about what they do. And they show you these self-fascial unwind maneuvers to do. So Gary loves to work with the moon cycles, but you don't have to. You can start at any time. And he explains, there's a whole team of them. And they explain how stress stores in the body, what becomes of it. They're pretty big around the world now, but they're really great practitioners.
Know how I miss them? It'll turn up everywhere now, I'm sure.
Yeah. The phone will be listening. It's
And people on the chat are already saying, yeah, he's great. I'm like, oh, okay. Clearly I've missed it.
Fantastic. Oh, I didn't realize you didn't know.
No.
So but he's right. And I actually, when I learned that about the jaw, because that being out of alignment, it's going to put pressure on so much of the hormonal factors as well. So, the glands and everything, that how the brain operates. So even though it's a whole body experience, but this is like part of the main operating system.
Yeah.
The heart's where we really need to come from. Do not get caught in the mind. Even though we'll talk a lot of mind stuff here, please try and work on being in the heart, everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The head loves to, really get us in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
The facial nerve's pretty important. That's one that might come up more regularly because it has different branches, but it actually controls taste and the muscles of facial expression. So if anyone's been through strokes, or they start, Bell's palsy, things like that, you'll actually see it. And again, we've seen it when we work with the cranial nerves, you can actually clear it up and get them moving again. Amazing. So it's the body it's phenomenal. It's amazing. Okay, so the eyes. This picture here is just to explain that the ocular motor, it controls part of the eyelid as well. So helping lift up the eyelid. So people have lazy eyes. I notice when we get tired, you'll see more of a drooping eyelid sometimes and things like that. So just putting these in here so that you can kind of understand, oh, okay, that's that, big fancy word. Oh, that's what it means. So
that's great.
A lot of them a bit more directly with the face, and then others like the vagus travel.
And this is the other point too, actually, on this, is that in your scanner, so you can see there's muscles of the eye there, and you have muscles of the eye in the scanner too. So if you're seeing these muscles turn up, then you can also go, oh, I wonder whether the oculomotor nerve, you can make those kind of translations there as well. And you can sort of, so you'll have this information to cross-reference with as well. And the same when we start to look into the vagus nerve, the different organs and things as well. And you can see that, how it all kind of can link back, so just, I don't know, I love it because it's going to fill in so many little blanks, or open up, expand different directions we can take things in.
Absolutely. But when I first had to learn them, like muscles of the body, I thought there's no way I'm ever going to remember these names.
Oh, same.
And
I did a whole anatomy and physiology thing as well with kinesiology. Oh my God. Yeah. But you do.
Repetition. No, but you do. Even if I can't pronounce them properly, you actually get to know them, understand them, because they are very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so good. I've just put efferent and afferent in sensory, just, that's just extra study stuff, just to get an idea of what that might mean if it comes up anywhere else, you know, so you understand. So, because that's taking it from the brain to the muscles to innovate.
Yep.
You know, afferent's taking it from the periphery back to the brain, you know, and it says, we're smelling gas, get the hell out of there. So, yeah, that's just kind of what they are. I love Latin names; they're always fun, but they're not essential. So yeah, so these three here really more focused around the eyes, you know, but eyes are a big thing that we do work with a lot and see in a lot of people, you know. Yeah, and optic nerve, you know, this is a
that connection, like you said, to the liver as well doesn't surprise me.
yeah. I know when I haven't been looking after my liver, then I recently I had to get a pair of glasses, and they're the finest magnifying. But I noticed that as soon as I start wearing them and take them off, it's harder to focus. So it's like your eyes get lazy. So all these muscles here will actually start to get lazy. So yeah, I just look after cleaning out my liver and doing those eye exercises.
It's a really
because I think it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone wants any eye exercises, just hit me up because I've actually got a handout that I give to my clients. So, yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's so important to do.
Yeah.
So here, you know, we can just see, where's my little mousey gone? In this abducens nerve picture here, where it has a lateral rectus muscle, we can just see how complex the nerves are coming into the brainstem, you know, coming from the brainstem. And it is so complex in there. There's really not much space.
No.
So, yeah, so that's our cranial nerves for the eye. So the oculomotor, abducens, and trochlea. So trochlea is a pulley system. It's the bottom one there. Yeah, and it's an actual pulley system that pulls the muscles in certain ways, like you see a pulley in machinery.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So
that's awesome.
Okay, so yeah, these ones are pretty important, especially when it comes to swallowing. I've worked with people that have here their throat starts to close up and they have to go and get operations done. And again, if we're not understanding that the nerves are controlling those areas, then the muscles are just going to keep coming back. So Parkinson's, you know, if you can work with that on the scanners and other devices, they have, you know, I've been going through the AO getting like, oh, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see why everyone's getting hooked. I'm looking up the infinity map.
Yeah. I've actually I've got what's called the hub. I haven't really explained it to you, Crystal, but it's a I think I did mention it, but it's a neural reprogramming kind of one.
Oh yeah,
uses light and sound and frequency, like the cranioelectrical stimulation. But it has a Parkinson's program in there, and so there's another one that it's like a magnetic one that sits at RTMS as well. That also I think has Parkinson's, which I guess would be stimulating all of that. Yeah. So I'm about my grandmother actually has some Parkinson's, and I haven't started working with her yet, but that's something that I'd like to. Yes, she'll be my next victim, I think.
Yeah.
To start doing. Yeah.
Yeah, the hypoglossal nerve is really important with Parkinson's. You notice as they get to the stage where they're slowing down or slurring speech.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a hypoglossal nerve. And it comes out, if we go to the back of our skull and you can feel at the very top, there's a small hole there. That's called the magnum foramen. And that's where the brainstem actually on the inside comes down. And this hypoglossal nerve comes just on the either side of that. We're going into too much detail. So again, when there's any compression, it's such a highly like nearly all of us fall over and whack our head or come off swings or, you know, cop a soccer ball to the back of the head or something like that. And then 40 years later, you know, the nerve starts to, you know, close up and get affected. So these things don't have to happen straight away. It can be lots of stuff that happened in childhood and will present it. The body will give us about 30 years, 30, 35 at the most, depends on the injury or the trauma. And it's like a Tupperware container, you know, and it stores it all. And it's not designed to store, it's designed to clear. But we've learned how to store it all. And then, yeah, it gets to that time and it says, okay, I can't function now. So you need to clean me out. Yeah. Otherwise, these
Full
things
of all
start.
that yucky leftover food.
Yeah, absolutely. You leave it in the fridge, or, I got a teenager. We're always pulling moldy
Yes.
things out of her room.
Yeah.
Gross. No, but that can be what it looks like. So,
Yeah. 100%.
yeah. So again, trigeminal. Yeah, just trying to give you like an easy kind of thing so you can look here and go, oh, okay, facial nerve, this person's drooping. Oh, that's the facial nerve. That's what that means. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's great.
Yeah, the swallowing nerve, that's more common than, and you'll probably start seeing these things everywhere now once we point them
Absolutely.
out, start observing people.
Yeah.
So this one I've done with its own whole page because it has 3 different branches. And this is the one that comes out through the ear canal and the trigeminal ganglion, which is a bundle which sends messages to the nerves to operate. A lot of compression, but because there's 3 different branches, it really affects a lot of our face internally and externally. So we really just, yeah. So the trigeminal nerve is the largest cranial nerve and is responsible for sensation and motor in the face and mouth.
Okay.
It provides tactile proprioception, motion, position, and pain sensations for the face and mouth. Again, down into the teeth as well. Motor function activates muscles of the jaw, mouth, and inner ear. So again, when we look at vertigo and even tinnitus, we look at this nerve as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Angela's just asked us, can whiplash cause some of this as well?
Sorry,
Would whiplash, be,
Oh,
what we were
massively.
talking about before? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%. So when we go through whiplash, the ligament, you go, and the ligament in the neck actually stretches. And they do say that once you stretch a ligament, it can't regain its tension. So it's kind of one that I work with, and I'm, because I'm like, I believe the body can heal it. And I have seen that the ligaments just sometimes will not regain their tension. So then what happens, when the head goes like that, then all the muscles are going to have to work harder to hold the stability. And then, these bones will get all pulled in together. And it's such a, like I said, it's the largest nerve. It controls so much as well. So whiplash also, because of the connection through the spine and the dura, the white thick coating that holds it all together safely. When the dura is tight, the cranial nerves attach into that, and just tension on that will affect the cranial nerves as well. So whiplash, quite often we find is, yes, it's in the neck, but it's also actually in the sacrum. So if anyone has severe whiplash and for years you've gone and got massages and physio and it doesn't quite clear it, it's because it's actually sitting down in the sacrum, which is the tailbone, that V-shaped kind of bone on our bum there. And because that's the opposite end of the cranial system. So, and it's all connected. It's like a stocking. And, when you pull one part of the stocking, the whole other part will pull. So unless you actually clear where the pull is, it's going to keep it tight. Yeah. It's really interesting, whiplash. And it doesn't matter the extent. If we've even just been through a small car accident, for example, just the smallest thing, it's just a tiny little bump. The body actually stores it a lot deeper than we realize.
Yeah.
So, again, 10, maybe 5 years, 10 years down the track, we start getting real jumpy or things stop working. And it can be from even the smallest motor vehicle accidents. So, so I've just put the information here. There's so much there again. So the slides there to go through. This one here. So it just shows what we work with in craniosacral work. That's why I loved your slides, Paige. I was like, oh, yeah. Then you said she's a cranial lady. I went, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that I'll leave a few in there just to show you like what we actually, so frontal is this bone here.
Yep.
And it moves like this. Actually, it goes this way and widens because when we were babies, it was actually 2 bones, not 1. So it still has a suture up here. And then temporal is our ears. And then the sphenoid is this. This sphenoid bone is our bone of perception. So if we have very closed-minded and we have our blinkers on, then there's lots of pressure in here, which again puts it back into the pituitary, back into the brainstem. So if we want to open our mind up a bit and yeah, we open, and then suddenly you can actually even see further behind you. So I'd also work on sphenoid for the optic nerve question before, you know, about improving.
Yep.
Can the optic nerve heal?
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay. Oh, where's my little mousey gone? Okay. So next, the vagus nerve. So obviously this one gets its own page. So
It's the famous one.
the famous one that everyone wants to work with now. And yeah, the vagus can really, if people work with it too much, it can actually drop you into a really deep sympathetic state. So don't go overworking the vagus nerve.
That's really interesting. It's the same with meridians, right? So if you tap a meridian too much, you put it into over energy. Like you want it balanced. You don't want it, you know, and if it's under and then you put it too far over, then you're over and then it messes things up as well. So yeah, right. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. It's crazy how subtle the body is. Like I said, we're there to assist it. Once we clear it and yeah. get it moving, then we got to get out of the way and let the body do its thing.
Yeah.
Anyone that wants to get in and fix you or we're all fixers, you know, as a massage therapist, I was a great fixer. I was a very successful fixer.
Yeah.
And then I realized yeah, that's not how we help someone heal.
No.
You know, where the idea is to get so that we're all able to heal ourselves. We don't need someone to do it for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I really did like about the scanner. I'm like, oh, this is really empowering people to take healing into their own hands. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I love about it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So times are changing.
It is.
So here we are. The vagus nerve, from the word vagabond or wanderer, goes to many parts of the body and is the longest cranial nerve. So it comes from, we can see up here, the jugular foramen is this tiny little hole in the skull at the back here, where again the ear and the back of the skull join. So you get a lot of pressure in there. There's a tiny little hole where the vagus nerve, the jugular vein, and the carotid artery all come through, as well as the accessory nerve. And it is tiny, this little hole. So if the vagus nerve's coming up, and you're someone who's always getting pressure and headaches or pain in this C1, C2 area, like the base of the, you know, been through whiplash, that the vagus comes out through here. So if there's pressure up here, as we can see from, you know, how far it goes here, comes all the way down into the organs, diaphragm's how we breathe under our ribs. We can get anxiety, because the vagus nerve fires off. Are we safe? Are we not safe? You know, and that doesn't mean it has to be coming from an external input. It can just be impinged somewhere and pressure on the nerve. You know, it gets heart palpitations going. It actually, there's so many pictures I wanted to put in here, but we'd be here till midnight. So it actually looks like there's two branches that come down and it looks like fishnet stockings. And one connects into all the organs, the lungs, the heart, and then it comes down, and it is literally like fishnet stockings. It's not just two nerves, kind of like in this picture, like one running here and here. This is just showing you the areas, sensory and motor. But yeah, it covers like everything.
Wow.
So, and comes back, and it has other nerves that come off it as well. And so there's always, you know, is the vagus nerve this or is it another nerve? But it's all connected.
Yeah.
So when you get that gut instinct, that's actually the vagus firing off. It's not necessarily our intuition. If we've had a very, let's say if our childhood's been violent or conflicting, or we're wired to look for that. So, and then we can grow up and have a calm life, but, oh, my gut's telling me it's pulling senses from the past, because it gets all caught in the nervous system, and the nervous system becomes its own operating system. So, and that's linked to the vagus nerve.
Yeah.
So I won't read all of this, but 80-90% of its fibers. It is huge, about the state of the body's organs to the brain. And with the other 10 to 20%, it carries some motor information back to the organs. So it actually it finishes down at the umbilicus, so your belly button. And the belly button is a highly emotive area. So in Chinese medicine, that's the center of your galaxy. That's the center of everything, they say in Chinese medicine. Then the umbilicus attaches to every organ through fascia. So if we have issues around our mother or things going on with our children, we're always connected through the umbilicus. So it's always attached to the vagus, which then attaches up through the rest of the body.
Wow.
We work a lot with that, and it attaches in at the lower back. So if anyone has any lower back issues around L1, L2, just a higher in the lower back. And again, massage, physio, yoga, doesn't quite get it, and it's always staying tight, then quite highly likely that there's issues around the umbilicus cord.
Wow.
And we can have lovely relationship with our mum. It's just the center. It's an empowerment center. So if we've been disempowered, which most of us are, even just by school teachers or, being told, oh, that's wrong, or you didn't get that right, it affects that area.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
sensory input, taste. Yeah, I'll let you all read through this. We'll be here for a while. But the vagus is really super important, as we know. So things like the toning, doing toning to help settle the vagus nerve. And we all actually have our own tone, which you can find by doing muscle testing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Our own unique tone.
Mm.
So we just go through the vowels. I'm not going to do it because it sounds wonderful. But you go through the vowels and it's like A, and then muscle test. And then go through each. And then when you find your vowel tone, that's yours, you keep doing that and you'll heal your own body. And that's, working with the vagus.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool little exercise. So down here, this one, researchers and doctors thought that anxiety and depression contributed to things like IBS, constipation, diarrhea, and it's so many sensors and information coming from the vagus nerve. Again, so important through breath work, like we said, toning, to keep this vagus nerve really calm. And it is assists with the parasympathetic rest and digest. It doesn't do all of it, but it definitely is a big component of being able to, go to sleep at night and rest and restore. I've also seen research too. They found that Parkinson's can be linked to an infection on the vagus nerve.
Wow.
So really
How would they
working.
find that out? That's incredible.
Yeah, I read that study probably about 6 years ago now,
Okay.
and now they're coming out linking it to household chemicals and chemicals, which most of us should know that it's it's pretty bad for us. But
What about what they're spraying in the air? You know what I mean? Like these days, it's more like probably what's falling out of the bloody sky. But anyway, yes.
100%. So, and eventually, so I was like, I could link the chemical overuse to attacking the vagus nerve over the years. I just think it's a build-up of,
100%.
and then the body says, you know what, I've had enough. Treat me better.
Yeah, not defending you anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, sort your shit out. Excuse the language, but it literally does say that.
Absolutely. So I'm just aware that we're 5 minutes past 8 now. So
okay.
Yeah, I don't know whether we might just go through the last few, because how many? There's only 2 more.
There's only 2 left to go. Yeah. So accessory, pretty simple, and then I'll finish it. Neck and shoulders.
Yeah.
So if accessory neck and you've got tight neck and shoulders, then this is the nerve here, the accessory nerve. That's down all that. So whiplash will affect this one as well.
Yeah.
Big time. So that's why you'll tighten up through those areas. And then, so that, just things that will affect it. Stress is huge, but, so many different others. So these are just some examples and what they look like. So that spells palsy. Strokes are the same, similar, and here's your issues with the vagus nerve dysfunctions. But I think we spoke over most of those. anyway there. Trigeminal neuralgia, there it is again. Severe facial pain, into the teeth as well. These are just some little rhymes that help you if you really want to know the vagus nerves and learn them. These words just go in the same order, you know, so you can put a little song to it as you, or there's different ones there, just for those that really love to study. And then this one here, some say marry money, that's sensory, motor, both. Okay? So it's good to write 1 to 12, write down the names, do these little songs. And
Okay, you learnt them all.
I have. Put little different, you know, this one's like on they travel. No, I'm joking. I won't break out in my but that's how I have it in my head. This is the terminal one that we were just talking about. So yeah, as you can see, it's a fine nerve here, comes up there, and it works on all of these things here. So you're struggling in any of those areas. It's a pretty one that they don't talk about much. So I didn't look to see if it was on the scanner.
It's not in there. I had a quick look. Yeah, I flicked into, well, not in comprehensive anyway. I don't know about the other, but yeah, I'll have a quick look in. I don't think it's in vitals because I would have noticed it in vitals. But yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah. Just well, if it's because it's right near the olfactory nerve here, in the yellow. So if your sense of smell is getting less and you're noticing any of these issues, then, you know, there may be an issue around that area near the olfactory nerve as well, same area. So yeah, but it's how the pheromones work, and these pheromones turn into these gonadotropins and then sex hormones. So it's how we determine if we like someone or not. You know, how can we stand being around them? Because we really do put out these secret little smells with the pheromones.
Oh, absolutely. And they reckon being on the pill changes it too. So that's why a lot of people, when they're on the pill, they end up with someone and then they come off the pill and they're like, oh, I don't like you anymore. So yeah, I was very glad that I wasn't on the pill when I met Tim. Anyway, true story. True story.
Well, yeah, check terminal nerve if anyone comes off the pill and doesn't like what they're no.
Yes, try. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Send it to you.
Yeah, so just some general way that most of us will know anyway, how to care for our cranial nerves. These days, with the whole consciousness shifting and changing on the planet, no pain, no gain is done and dusted. I know I still love deep tissue stuff as well, but if it's hurting the body, we've already stored enough in our life. So the body's not going to clear itself if it has to then lay in pain to clear it. Yeah. So, I mean, there's graphene Maori stuff that works fantastic in doing that, but we just work subtly and have seen some amazing shifts.
Yeah.
So if you're someone who doesn't like pain, you don't have to go through the pain to do it. And yeah, you'll get this in the PDFs that just explains what cranial even is. And that's it.
Yay! Done. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Now, somebody did have, Angela had a question earlier about would it work? And she was referring to Cranio on, what was it, Angela? Sorry, where would you? Oh, okay. So just asked about neuropathy and extremities. So Cranio would work with neuropathy and extremities as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So we work with the whole body.
Sorry, I'll put myself on mute.
We in craniosacral therapy, we don't just work with the head, we work with the whole body. So we and quite often when someone's really stressed, we actually don't even go to the head until about the second or third session. We'll just work with the body, because getting that connectiveness back to extremities, you know, they're an extension of, so the arms are an extension of C7, the vertebra here, because when we were a baby and an embryo, that's where they were formed from. Legs L5. You know, there's a lot more to it, but if you're getting pain and nerve issues and even fascia, muscles, any of that, we work with periods. It gets the health back to those parts of the body. It's all about bringing the health back. Yeah.
Awesome.
Numbness in fingers, all that kind of thing.
Amazing. That's really good. I'll just go through and see. Yes, neuropathy. That's right. Yeah, and Angela just ended that. Beautiful. Well, thank you so, so much. I hope this was helpful to everyone. Endo issues, someone just said. So, Teresa, yep,
Yeah.
definitely. You would help with that. Hey, yeah.
Yeah. Endo has such a deeper meaning of around feminine and fertility. So we go deeper with that. I know they link a lot to gut health and food. I've watched my sister go tried everything you can imagine to clear it. She's only 30. Yeah. And yeah, it's a lot. It goes back a lot into the around the feminine.
Definitely.
So and other stuff as well. It's not just saying there's an issue. We don't never judge when it's that's what it is. You know.
No, exactly. It can be a lot of different things for a lot of different people, but yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you all so much for being here, Crystal. Thank you so, so much. And your contact details will be on the handout that we're sending out to everyone. So, yeah, and it's just brilliant information. Thank you so much for all the effort that you put in and brilliant info. So I'm sure you'll be getting lots of shout outs and people following up with you. So thank you so much for tonight. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I'll have to
Even
come
if anyone just has questions, we're always
Yeah.
happy to chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll
Yeah, you're
share.
very generous with your time. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Thanks so much, everyone.
I'll be. Can you all please call? Sorry, just before we finish, can you please just pop what you enjoyed about the call in the chat, and then I'll know who to send the things to. And I wrote down everyone's name who wanted the eye stuff as well, so I will send those on to you all as well. All right. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for having me, Kate.